my portion of the program was running the cut section as well as all of the buttons associated with loading the samples. So the first button we have here is the load music button. So you click that and a file pops up and you can select any WAV file you have in the same folder on your computer. So we'll load in the file of Angel with a Shotgun, which is a song we have. And since the location drop-down menu here had the location of 1 in at the time, we know it was loaded into sample 1. You can then click the location on it, which to automatically load how long the sample is in this sample time viewer window here. It says the time in seconds. So by clicking on the button, you can begin hearing the song. And click anywhere on the screen to stop the music from playing. So I want a cut of it. So we're going to start the cut at, let's say, 25 seconds, and stop the cut at 35 seconds. You just simply type the numbers in here and choose the cut location. Our sample is currently in location 1, so that is going to work. And we're going to put our new sample in location 2. So then you click the load cut button, and it's been loaded in sample 2. Now, say you don't like the new sample you've gotten, you choose whatever location from the drop-down menu and click the delete sample button to simply get rid of it. Now, when we click on that, nothing plays. And that concludes the section on loading buttons and cuts.
So the part that I did was the wave synthesis portion of our program, which allows you to generate tones based on whatever you want. So we have an input for the type of wave, which you can choose between sine, square, and sawtooth. You can choose the amount of time you want it to play. You can choose the frequency. You can choose the amplitude, like the volume. And then you can also, once you've set all of those things, you apply it, and it'll go into whatever sample location you have set in the location box. So for each of the inputs in the wave synthesis area, there's a callback in the MATLAB code. In the apply synthesis button, it'll take all the inputs. So based on your choices, it'll generate an array called tone data, and then that data will go into a new array called data. And based on the location you've set, the data array will go into that button, and when you click on it, it'll play the tone you created. So let's see that work in action. So let's start out simple. We'll do a sine wave. Have it play for 1 second. 440 hertz, so that's like an A. And we'll choose an amplitude that's relatively high so it's easy to hear. We have the location set to button 1. Click apply. Now we press button 1, and it plays a sine wave. So yeah, that's basically how the wave synthesis portion works, and that's it.
My part of the group project was to code all of the effects. And all of my coding is under the apply effect button. So for the first part, I had to program the effect change location, which basically grabs any pre-filled data from one of the specific location boxes. And for the second part of my coding, I had to program the effect types. And lastly, for the third part of my programming, I had to code applying these effects onto the pre-filled data that was grabbed from the effect change location and put it into a new location box. And so now I'm going to show you how the effects sound like. I've already loaded the music's piano to location box 1, and I'm going to be using her song as a sample, and here is how her song sounds like. going to apply a sample reversal, and I'm going to put that into location box 2, and this is how it sounds like. And that is it for my programming. I'm going to show you how our SoundGUI works, and this time you get to see it through the screen. Now we're going to go ahead and type guide and open the SoundGUI figure, click on run. And the first thing you would want to do is to go ahead and upload a music file. Now our location Dropbox is already set to 1, so when we load a music file, which can only be a .wav file, it's going to put all that data into location box 1, and we're going to click on it so we can listen to it. Now you can click anywhere on the screen to stop the music from playing. And so I'm going to show you how our cuts work. So we're going to be grabbing the data from location box 1, and we're going to start the cut at 13 seconds to 25 seconds. And we want to put all this new piece of information to location box 2. Now, for location box 1, it is 247 seconds, and location box 2, it is 12 seconds. So let's say we want to delete a sample, and we want to delete all the data from location box 1. So we're going to set the Dropbox to 1, and we're going to click on delete sample. When you click on it again, it's going to say 0 seconds, because we have deleted all the data. And so I'm going to show you how our wave synthesis work now. The first wave type we want to look at is sine, and we're going to set that to 1 second to 440 frequency, the amplitude, and we're going to put all this new piece of information into location box 3. And now square, and we're going to leave the settings the same, and we're going to go ahead and put this into location box 4. And then sawtooth with the same settings, location box 5. And now I'm going to show you how our effects work. So I'm going to be using the data from location box 2, and I'm going to be applying the effects from that data. And so we're going to do sample reversal, and we're going to go ahead and put this new piece of information into location box 6. And then the next effect type is delay, and again it's going to be grabbing the data from location box 2, and it's going to be applying the delay effect on it, and we're going to be putting this new piece of information into location box 7. The next delay is tone control. I'm going to put it in location 8. And then we're going to speed up and then put that into location 9. And then voice removal, and that piece of information will be put into location box 1. And so our SoundGUI by default, it is already playing all the music in stereo form. And so if you want to set it to mono, you can go ahead and click onto this mono button, and then click on any of the sample buttons to listen to it in mono. Now if you want to listen in stereo again, you just go ahead and unclick the button, and everything will be back into stereo. And so this is it for our SoundGUI.